Hello and welcome to my channel on human design. Well, today I want to look at the topic of really what your life is. I come from the quarter of mutation in the wheel. In other words, I'm here to fulfill my own life through transformation of myself and transformation of others. And this is where I get the most satisfaction in life. And as I look around the world and I see all the changes and all the uncertainty and all the negative news that is out there and all the catastrophes and all the misery and all the waste and all the destruction, I look for what is clearly the case in life, and I use the I Ching and human design to do it. So let's just begin there. When we think about where there is intense life in us, from my viewpoint of coming from that quarter of mutation, I'm here to have connections with both the young and the old. And when I look at the young, when I look at small children, there is this life in them, the life in them where they are finding new things out all the time. And yes, there are crises and there's crying and there's pain and there's skinned knees as you fall off your go-kart going down the road, if you're still allowed to do that these days. And there's so many things out there that can, be something you have to endure, the experience you have to endure. But I remember when I was little, when I got home from playing with my friends, I was alive. I'd been through experiences, not all of them pleasant, but it gave me this life to engage in. Think about that. Think about the way a child can go from being absolutely distraught to giggling and smiling when something good happens to them. They adapt very easily. They're here to show us what life is lived without all the burden of being an adult. I mean, it's incredible. Kids seem to cut through the crap of the adult way of thinking. They see that we can't see what they see. We're not in touch with life to the degree that they are. And then I look into the other side of the spectrum, and I look into those who are now older in their life, and sometimes much older. And what do I see? I see this shrinking of the life. Now, depending on their physical capabilities, a certain shrinkage maybe is required because of the state of the body. But still, there is this closing down, not opening up, except for those older people who are keeping fresh by taking in the new, by learning new things, by having new experiences, by going into places where they do not know what they're going to encounter. And right now in this time, we do not know what we're going to encounter. Depending on the level of research you're doing about what's going on about these times, you have certain ideas about possibilities, but it's unknown. And so we can look at that as being, well, this is a terrible time and, blah, blah. Or we can say, well, life likes the unknown. Life rises to the unknown. Like when we were children, there is this ability for us to become more alive when we're under the pressures that we're currently under. It's not all doom and gloom. There are many ways to cut through this. And one of the ways that I want to speak to you about today is the human design chart that you have and how to use it as a compass for what your life is suited for. It's actually there in the chart. And if you go off the chart, you're into the white areas and you're into more of the chaos, more moving into areas where you are not designed to move comfortably. You're designed to move in those white areas in terms of finding out what it's about, tasting it, measuring it, getting to know what it is, but it is not you. Let's add another element to the equation. What is life? The I Ching tells us that life is a mixture of movement and stillness. So when you think of children, you think of the movement, you think of the life, you think of, you know, the high pace at which they live because of all that energy. And think about the 58th gate. In the first line, the love of life. What is that? That is a pressure to improve things in life. That is the pressure, the joy to be able to use critical awareness and improve your life, because a pattern can be set up where it's more comfortable, or it's easier, or it's just better for you in terms of its simplicity. You think about the stillness and the unchanging, and the fact that there is this aspect to reality where we have our, you know, our atomic matter, and we have our all the movement going on underneath in quantum mechanics, and all this movement and all this change and all this life being manifest around us. And around that, there is mainly what people would call empty space. It is this stillness. It is this container around which the world lives. In the I Ching, it would be the 52nd gate. The pressure to be still, the pressure not to act. And those of you who are involved in meditation and have reached those states of stillness, an attunement to what is all around us all the time, you know what I mean. So this mixture of movement and non-movement, this mixture of waking and sleeping. I mean, when you think about it, every live being at some point or other has to go to sleep, has to close down, and then open up for the new cycle the next day. It's part of who we are. But how do we do it? How do we individually do it as unique designs? It's there in the chart. The 58th gate is something that I have in me. So there is this joy for correction. There is this joy for getting things to run smoother and to share those techniques with others. But I'm under pressure to struggle for purpose with the channel of struggle. So my life has to include getting my teeth into something that is a struggle. You know, I've got to fight in this life, fight for purpose, fight to get over obstacles. It's part of who I am. Don't want you to take my struggles away from me. That would be terrible. You know? I mean, it's part of what I do, is to find new struggles through my response that I can then get my teeth into and take things to another level. Be in alignment with my purpose through something that I have recognized in myself as something that is good for me. I'm also under pressure with the channel of mutation to bring something new into the world, to be involved in the old and the new and the transformation through that channel to new orders, to new ways of doing things, to doing things I've never done before, to find new ways to apply the old knowledge. But that's not enough either. You know, I've also got to go on a journey of discovery through the 2946 to actually experience this pressure coming through me, to grow and expand through the experience. And then through the Alpha channel, to lead others or to help guide others when recognized into what logically would be a better future for them, or a better way, or a track that may suit them. But that's not enough, because I'm also a busy creature with the channel of charisma. You know, I've got to be busy. I've got to be doing things. I've got to use my energy in ways that I love using my energy, whether that is, you know, gardening or doing human design, whether that is doing analysis or getting involved with alternative technology. You know, these are things that I enjoy being busy about, and it's part of me to do that. It's part of me to be a busy creature. So if I see someone with the channel of charisma and they're not being busy, they're not really moving in a way that suits them. They don't know that that's part of who they have to be when they all close down. But that's not enough, because I'm also the channel of power. You know, I've also got to be involved in a spontaneous awareness, using my energy spontaneously according to outside circumstances. One example that I use in that would be table tennis. You know, it's in that you have to be on the spot. There's no way to think about things as they're happening because it's too quick. You have to be able to respond in the moment. But that's not enough either. I've also got to have the 5720, this channel that penetrates into the now, to be able to bring out certain things that I perceive according to my awareness, to break through with something new in the way that I say something or the way that I see something. There are all these different sides that have to be fulfilled at some level or another to get to a life where you can be more content, where you can be more still in yourself, because your life reflects who you are. You're living according to your nature. You're not getting lost in all the white areas. There is this built-in compass for us to align to. You know, if I was a projector with the 4816, I would need to be recognized, you know, by being someone who understood certain systems that could be beneficial to people, often health systems, not necessarily, but often. Could also be computer software or whatever it may be, but there's a systematic awareness there that can really help other people. And if I'm not involved with that, if I'm not being seen to use that awareness, then the life doesn't succeed. It will come out in different areas, perhaps not professionally, but with friends, perhaps. You know, there'll be all these aspects of you that are really demanding you to live in what you are. When I look at a human design chart, I see a great deal of potential in lots and lots of different ways, both in what is open and what is fixed in us. But I don't see that many people living all that they are, all of that operating. You know, we close down certain parts of our nature depending on the conditioning and what we've been through. Children don't do that. They just live as they are. I mean, they do. And it's really for us to understand that we have our nature that we have to live out. You can see what it is in the chart if you know human design. And when it comes out of you, there is this joy, there is this self-recognition of actually being in alignment in what you're involved with and who you're involved with, depending on what's in the chart. So, for example, if you have the 4037, you know, there is a real need for you to be part of something more than yourself. This channel of community, you know, this tribal channel, you need your tribe. You're going to be happier when you're around your tribe and the people that you include in your larger family. This is a demand. All these things that you see in your chart aren't just aspects of who you are. They are a framework, a compass to how you are to live your life in a way that is fulfilling for you. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that perspective. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. That would be very good. And I'll be back very soon with something completely different. Bye-bye for now.